A vast, dark world where countless creatures struggle to survive. We finally won, and finally completely destroyed this world-destroying terror. We finally destroyed one of the 7 world-destroying terrors. This is a new beginning. The 3 remaining powerful practitioners were quite pleased, and the many creatures in the base far behind cheered excitedly. As long as we pass on the torch, generation after generation, we will eventually completely destroy these terrors, and our world will regain light and freedom. Countless creatures are full of yearning for light. Suddenly, in the dark sky, a huge red eye suddenly opened. This scene made countless creatures tremble. It's the Eye of Darkness, heavenly level terror Eye of Darkness. These creatures were terrified. According to their classification, among the many terrors that invaded their world, the one that ranked first was the heavenly terror, the Eye of Darkness. When this eye opened in the sky for the first time, the whole world fell into darkness forever. They still had the confidence to fight against the world-destroying terror, but facing the supreme heavenly terror, Eye of Darkness, they only felt powerless. The more they understood the gap. The heavenly way has changed, and the heavenly way has become the Eye of Darkness. When powerful practitioners comprehended the heavenly way, they found that the heavenly way had changed, and even the ultimate direction of their own practice could only lead to this Eye of Darkness. Fortunately, over the long years, the Eye of Darkness was indeed like the heavenly way, treating everything equally. The Eye of Darkness emitted a red light, and the red light enveloped the city like a pillar of heaven. The city suddenly came alive, and its aura soared sharply, turning into a towering, twisted creature. The towering, twisted creature knelt down and saluted. The city of illusion has evolved, and evolved into a world-destroying terror. In the rear base, countless creatures who had detected this scene from afar were in despair. It was so hard to kill a world-destroying terror, and now there is a new one. 7 world-destroying terrors are a fixed number. In the base, a powerful practitioner sensed the operation of the heavenly Tao and murmured, "The Eye of Darkness is the heavenly Tao. The heavenly Tao has determined that there will always be 7 world-destroying terrors. If one is killed, a new one will take over. No matter how we struggle, it's useless. Is it a destiny?" Many creatures who were fighting for it were desperate. Suddenly, the dark eye in the sky let out a shrill howl. No! This shrill howl of heavenly Tao-level terror resounded in the hearts of every creature in the world. They all felt the fear of the dark eye and were unwilling to give up. After that, the dark eye in the sky disappeared silently, and the sky seemed to have removed a huge black curtain, revealing the appearance it should have. The warm sunlight, after a long time, it once again shone on this land, and the sky and the earth were restored to light. This is... Accustomed to the light condensed by the formation, many creatures were exposed to real sunlight for the first time in their lives, and they were obsessed with watching the legendary light. Light, sprinkled all over the world. The heavenly Tao-level terror, dark eye, has disappeared, and the heavenly Tao has returned to normal. A powerful cultivator comprehended the heavenly Tao and said excitedly, "Although the 7 world-destroying level terrors are still there, their territories have shrunk under the sunlight. Haha, the world has changed. Treasure land, infinite space. Well, using the ultimate will of the God King to perform the element technique can finally kill the most common spiritual creatures." Luo Feng was very satisfied, watching the bloody one-eyed monster in front of him being completely annihilated. Once the mind of a spiritual creature is destroyed, it disappears completely. The total reward points Luo Feng received from this spiritual creature also reached 10 points. If he just dealt heavy damage and repelled it again and again, the accumulated reward points would generally be more than 5 points. These spiritual creatures in the infinite space can reach the God King level with their spiritual power alone. I don't know where Yuan Jinli got these spiritual creatures from when he established this precious land. Luo Feng sighed secretly. There is not a single spiritual creature in the origin continent. According to the intelligence, the strong ones with the ultimate will of the God King are expected to kill them completely. Luo Feng thought, it seems that those strong ones have also obtained a very powerful secret technique. In the treasure house of infinite space alone, there are inheritances that include the secret art of will. These inheritances may not be as good as the art of column elements, but the gap is obviously getting smaller and smaller. As my strength increases, the levels of contact become higher and higher. Maybe I can come across a secret technique of will that is equivalent to the technique of Lai Yuan. Luo Feng thought to himself. Look at the inheritances in the infinite space treasury. For example, the special inheritance, World Life Form, was created by Yuan's friend. What about those perfect inheritances? If this level of inheritance is good at the direction of will, how powerful would it be? The art of Li Yuan is, after all, just one of the many opportunities that Yuan left behind on the origin continent. Luo Feng was also reminding himself not to be proud. For example, Emperor Ming. The method of cultivating while hidden in the robbery beast diagram that Emperor Ming gave to him was a secret method created by Emperor Iving himself. Luo Feng felt that it was no less powerful than the Great Destruction Mind Refining method in The Art of Element. Of course, the power of the Great Destruction Mind Refining method also depended on Luo Feng's realm of the Great Tao of the Origin of Destruction. Of the 3 spiritual creatures I had in the infinite space, the 2 weak ones died, leaving only one powerful one. Luo Feng thought, it's time to find a new spiritual creature. Luo Feng left behind a clone to guard the powerful spiritual creature. Luo Feng couldn't destroy this powerful spiritual creature, and it would probably take a long battle. Luo Feng sent out 9 clones to fly in all directions, going to some remote places to explore and search for new prey. Luo He, leave quickly. This is our territory. Invisible fluctuations of thoughts and warnings. The places with the most prey in the infinite space had long been occupied by ancient beings. Although they could recognize that it was the great sage Luo He, they didn't care at all. Luo He, who is number 1 in the Chaos Realm, has no influence at all on this. Luo Feng laughed at himself during the flight. In reality, Luo Feng has a very high status and many powerful people give him face. But infinite space, this is the treasure land left by Yuan, and the threshold to enter here is too high. Those who are not the god kings of the 2 royal families who can come here are generally the overlords of the origin continent. After all, for someone like the formless ancestor, who is at the limit of the first level of the God King realm, it is already very difficult to get a place. As for the weaker ones, only the 2 royal families would allow Chaos Realm Transcendence and ordinary God Kings to come in. But as royal families, they all gathered together. They would be protected by powerful royal families and would be the most powerful force in the infinite space. The infinite space has sealed off 19 avenues of origin, so to perform God King level moves here, we must open up new avenues. Luo Feng thought. Here, even emperors and monarchs, if they have not opened up new avenues, may be relatively weak and can only rely on their mental will to fight the enemy. This is also the reason why Patriarch Wuxiang was so confident when facing Luo Feng. In the infinite space, those who can perform God King level secret techniques are considered masters. Opening up a whole branch of the avenue, he is considered a top-notch expert. The road he opened up reached the 2nd level of the Divine King. He had never heard of it. At least there was no record of it in the information that Emperor Chu gave Luo Feng. Luo He? Suddenly a thought touched Luo Feng. Luo Feng took a look and saw an old man in a loose white robe in the distance. God King Wuxiao. Luo Feng recognized the other party. He was the God King of the Emperor Wu lineage of the Yinfeng ancient country. He was considered to be at an extremely strong level among the first level of God Kings. I didn't expect to see the great sage Luaha here. Wuxiao God King looked at Luo Feng and said with a smile, it stands to reason that my Yinfeng ancient country would not give you the quota. Where did you get this quota? It's not from the ancient country of Yinfeng. Luo Feng said. I know. What I'm asking is, where did you get the quota? Wuxiao Divine King asked. Or did Emperor Chu deliberately show favoritism and secretly get a token and give it to you? Are you slandering my master? Luo Feng's face darkened. Who doesn't know what Emperor Chu does? God King Wuxiao sneered. Humph. Luo Feng no longer had any good intentions. How could Luo Feng be willing to be nice to someone who was targeting his master like this? However, the relationship between the Diwu lineage and the Dichu lineage is very bad. Conflicts between the 2 lineages often occur, and countless hatreds have accumulated over the long years. Brother Wuxiao. A figure flew over from a distance. It was a man with gray robe and white hair. The white-haired man glanced at Luo Feng and said, it turned out to be Luo He. Luo He, leave quickly. This is the territory where the royal family of my ancient Yinfeng country is located. This is not the place for you to stay. The white-haired man shouted. Flame Sky God King. Luo Feng recognized the other party and flew away without saying anything more. The Flame Sky Divine King, a divine king of the 2nd level. In the royal family of the ancient Yinfeng kingdom, he is also a core member. Naturally, he has the qualifications to act recklessly. Even when facing the Lord of the 10,000 Realms and the world beast of the Tianmu Kingdom, he probably doesn't care at all. No wonder Master advised me that unless the Yinfeng ancestor invited me, there was no need to join the Yinfeng ancient country. Luo Feng sighed. After all, only a few people can treat outsiders well. Luo Feng could understand that the royal god kings banded together to seize most of the resources and gave a little to the hardworking guest god kings. But Luo Feng was indeed quite unhappy with this feeling of being discriminated against and excluded. This is still not fully joined. If you join completely, the restrictions will be greatly increased. You will be ordered around by these royal gods and kings and become their minions. There's no need to worry too much about Luo He. The white-haired man, Flame Sky God King, glanced at Luo Feng in the distance. Even if he becomes a god king, He is only invincible in the first level of God King. He can't affect the royal family like us in the slightest. I doubt his quota. Wu Shou Divine King said. He is a chaos realm transcendent. It is impossible for him to have 50 million merits. So how did he get the quota? I suspect that it was Di Chu who got the quota. The card was given to Luo He. Oh, the white-haired man, Yinxiong Divine King, had a slightly changed expression. What you said is very likely. Di Chu is indeed a bit reckless. As a member of the royal family, he does not consider the royal family wholeheartedly and often helps those outside the royal family. I will ask the emperor about this matter and investigate it. There was a cold look in the eyes of the Flame Sky God King. We must find out how he got the quota to come in. If it was really given by Emperor Chu in private, we must not let him off easily. There was a cold look in the eyes of God King Yinxiong. This is the rule set by the ancestor. Emperor Chu will be punished if he makes a mistake. As for Luo He, first of all, he must be expelled from the infinite space, deprived of this opportunity, and severely punished. Flame Sky God King said, a guest official from the Chaos Realm can also come in. What a joke. He became the God King much longer than Emperor Chu. Emperor Chu and Emperor Yinxiong had had many conflicts between them. As the second most powerful person in the Emperor Yin lineage, after Emperor Yin, Emperor Yinxiong was always eager to fight against Emperor Chu. If he finds any problem with Emperor Chu, the God King Yinxiong will of course chase him and beat him. If this matter is verified, the God King Wuxiu was quite hesitant.